Happy Thursday. It's noon with me, Helen. I'm here to help guide you guys into empowered health, into energetic health instead of into fad dieting. And today we're going to be talking about consistency and why fad diets have left us to not really have any choice but be inconsistent. And I'm going to give you a solution by the end of this and my guide that's going to help you be able to get out of that cycle of fad dieting so that you can take care of yourself and sustain the habits that you really want to shift and change within yourself. All of us have things that we want to change. All of us have, habits that really get in our own way from being able to make progress. And the solution is not a fad diet. The solution is not to go start tracking macros. The solution is not to go decide to do a 21-day detox. And I'm going to explain to you guys today why those are not sustainable options and what you can do instead. My goal for every woman is to be able to know herself better, to know herself through what I call energetic health, to understand how the thoughts that you're having, the foods that you're eating, and the lifestyle you're living may not be in alignment with who you are or who you want to be. And the little downloads or pings that we get when we aren't eating well or when we aren't exercising well and we're not taking care of ourselves, it says, hey, let's make a change, ultimately get clouded by a lot of the misinformation that we get about what we need to change because of the fad dieting rules and temptations out there in order to make drastic changes for drastic results. You get to have whatever results you want when you tap into yourself, into your own body and mind. And today I'm going to explain why and how it's possible for you to do that. It was possible for me. It's possible for the hundreds of women that I've worked with, just to change a narrative that's going on for you about your body and about what you're doing. Okay. So I'd love to know who's tuning in today. Let me know if you're here. Just say hello to me in the chat. I love to make this as interactive as possible. I know I'm not speaking to a wall here. I'm speaking to an audience of some amazing women who are ready to make empowered health changes in their life and who are ready to do something differently, to lose weight differently, to decrease inflammation, and to feel better overall. When we feel better, we can do better. So if you're suffering from the ups and downs of fad dieting and you're looking for your ideal day where you never have to recommit to yourself again, I'm going to bust some big myths for you right here in our Facebook group. So here's the first myth that I'm going to explain to you guys. The first myth that diets tell you that is 100% not true is that you're incapable of listening to your needs and that you actually need to weigh yourself in order to know if what you're doing is working. So if you're listening in, let me know, even on the replay, if you are used to using your weight as a way of knowing if what you're doing is working for you or against you. You step on the scale, you say, oh my gosh, it's been 10 days. I just saw this in a Facebook group. It's been 10 days since I've lost weight. What I'm doing isn't working for me. Or you step on the scale and you lost weight and you're like, it must be because I'm doing X things. And you start setting these rigid rules around yourself about what it takes in order to lose weight. And the big problem with that is that you're adhering to a diet plan, a detox plan, or a certain list of foods or a certain caloric intake in order to lose weight. And instead of understanding what's actually helping your body thrive, you're actually adhering to something that doesn't even belong to you. And I see that it's a huge mistake that most women make, is that they think that these diet plans and that these restrictive plans are what's going to help them lose weight once and for all. Now, it may help you lose weight, but we're talking about consistency today. And to be consistent, you've got to connect the actions that you're taking with yourself, not with the scale. And I made that promise to myself, what was it, about 5 years ago, that I would never step on the scale again to measure my self-worth. And it has done nothing but prove that we don't need the number to take action, and we don't need the number to know if what we're doing is working for us. There are other symptoms and things going on for us that we get to clear up to say, oh my gosh, this is working for me, and I want to sustain this because my life is worth living. Okay. The other day I was online and someone wrote in response to a detox, I can't wait to feel better again. She believes that she can only feel better if she detoxes. And this is also not true. So many of us walk around and say, oh my gosh, I have joint pain. I feel gassy and bloated. I feel terrible. I've got brain fog. I've gained 20 pounds. I really need a detox in order to get my SHIT together. Right. But if we go on believing that, that limiting belief is going to keep us stuck in the cycle of believing it's not possible for me to be able to have the health of my dreams unless I go on a detox. It also sends the message to your body that you are not worth taking care of unless you're detoxing, and that you can't possibly feel better unless you do something drastic. That means that living your normal life is never going to be good enough. And what does that say about you? Right? That I'm never good enough unless I am detoxing, unless I drop that 20 pounds fast, unless I do this drastic thing. I'm not good enough unless I do that. In another post about 2 days after that, somebody had been counting macros and they just started this program. And so I'm watching and seeing what the coach is saying about their success. After just a few days, the woman was feeling good, but she couldn't wait to have cantaloupe and rice in the same day. This is like a smack my head moment. So she's looking forward to when she's able to have cantaloupe and rice. This is truly alarming, you guys. It's not true that you can't have 2 carbs in one day. It's just not true. Now, some of us may be more need to be more carb aware because we are experiencing less sensitivity to insulin, which is our blood sugar, right? So if we want to regulate blood sugar, it might be true that we need to add more protein to our diet. It might be true that we're not eating enough healthy fats. And when that happens, we end up craving more carbohydrates, and we need to try to shut those signals down that are keeping us stuck. It doesn't mean that you can't have cantaloupe and rice in a day, but what I want you to get used to is listening to the signals. Do I want cantaloupe and rice in a day? She's setting herself up in anticipation to say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for that, when her body might not even want that. Her body might not even require that. So she's waiting to have these carbohydrates and she can't wait to do it. That's not her body's signal. This is a rule from the diet that she's on that's telling her that she can't have those macros until this day. So she's putting herself in this anticipatory stress. There was another online or Instagram post that I saw where she said, make sure you don't lick the spoon after you eat your peanut butter. So say you grab 2 tablespoons of peanut butter in your smoothie. She said, don't lick the spoon because it's extra calories and you'll ruin your weight loss goals. This is also not true. The more peanut butter that you might put in your smoothie, the more healthy fats you're adding to your smoothie and the more protein. It doesn't mean that you're some sort of monster that can't handle having a little extra of that in your body. When we are tuned in and we are listening to our bodies, the fact is that you might not have as much smoothie, right? You might get down to the bottom of it and say, I'm full. You might not be as hungry later if you lick the spoon with the peanut butter. But you're not some insane person who's just going to like go off the deep end with the peanut butter. Okay. If you are, then you're not balancing out your meals throughout the day to have plenty of protein, and you're only relying on peanut butter to get vital energy into your body. So that might be why you overeat peanut butter. But licking the spoon is not a big deal. It's just not that big of a deal. Myths like this from fad diets feed what I call limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are messages that reinforce negative thinking towards ourselves, and they keep us from listening to ourselves when it comes to our health. This is what fad diets are doing, and this is why we are inconsistent, because we get into anticipatory patterns of what we're allowed to have at certain times in order to be able to like live our lives outside of the diet. And this is a problem. So all of these limiting beliefs about I can't be well unless I detox. I can't lose weight if I lick the spoon. I can't lose weight unless I track calories. It's not possible for me to be the healthiest version of myself unless I'm on a diet or unless I weigh myself. Those things just aren't true. And it is our job to debunk these things and to say it's not true. And the best way to do that isn't to just go off the deep end and say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to eat whatever I want. I'm also not about that. You can't go around eating whatever you want. There are certain foods that may cause an inflammatory response in your body. There's certain foods, if you don't eat enough of them, you're going to end up eating too much of the things that are going to cause you to feel unwell. There are certain foods that may cause more cravings. So once you understand how those foods are affecting you, you are making the decision from the inside. And it is possible to listen to that. It is possible to be able to understand yourself that well. And it is really helpful to work with a coach on finding the nuances in the thoughts and the feelings that you have around food so that you can get to the bottom of what that is for you. But today, what I'm going to share with you is my guide to mindsets for whole body health that are going to help you overcome the fad dieting mindsets and actually get in touch with what your body may actually need. Again, some of us need a bit more help, and you may need support, you may need accountability, and you might need someone to look at the foods that you're eating and ask you questions about that. That's fine. That's what my job is. You can find a coach that can help you with that, or you can monitor it yourself. What I'm offering you today is 12 weeks of going through the guide that I'm going to provide to you so that you can challenge yourself to use affirmations to rewrite what you have thought about yourself and what you've thought about your body and what you've thought about dieting over the last however long it's been for you that you've been on a journey to health. Okay, let's go on a journey to health, not another diet. And this is what we're going to do. Because all of the women who've worked with me are limited by the belief that they are incapable of feeling good without going to extreme measures. So if you start with your mind and you start with ideas that come to you in order to support yourself, there's nothing extreme about that. You are meeting yourself where you are and taking yourself in the direction that you want to go, not in the direction that a diet wants you to go. You don't have to detox if you know what foods are actually nourishing your body. You don't have to count macros or avoid 2 carbs in one day if you learn how to tune in to what your body needs, and you don't have to stop licking the spoon. I love licking the spoon. If you like licking the spoon too, let us know in the comments. I love licking the spoon after I dig into the peanut butter, 100%. I love tasting the cookie dough when I'm making it with my kids. Like, let's have those things too. None of my clients deprive themselves of any of these things when we work on whole body health. And whether it's weight loss, improving mood, optimizing digestion, dialing in focus if you've lost focus in your life, or balancing your energy, my clients understand how food works inside of their body because of the new thought patterns that they've put in, instead of saying, what's the list of foods that I'm allowed to eat? No. We're going to go through the thoughts that are here that are going to support us, that are going to lead you to making the choices that are best for you. It is a different way of getting in touch with yourself. It is a different way of relying on yourself. And it is up to you to make the changes. And I know that can sound kind of scary. And I know it can sound like, oh my gosh, just give me a list of foods that I can eat in order to lose weight, or in order to feel better, in order to optimize my digestion. I know what that's like. I've been there before. But before you do that, because we can do that too, but before you do that, you've got to erase the diet culture noise that's keeping you stuck in the patterns of fad dieting and inconsistency. If you just stopped focusing on the diet that could fix you, if bringing awareness to your own thoughts and behavior patterns worked instead, and it was guaranteed to work, would you do it? Would you do it if it was a guarantee? I want to guarantee it to you. I want to guarantee it to you. And in my program, I do guarantee results. I absolutely 100% guarantee results. So if that's if you're interested in guaranteed results using thought patterns, followed by food patterns, followed by lifestyle patterns, then I want you to book a call with me, and we can get on the phone and talk about why what you've been doing hasn't been working, and why my process using the 3 pillars of health, your mindset, your food, and your lifestyle, have been getting in your own way. And it's different than tracking all of the foods and macros like you've been used to in the past. I want you guys to go through a whole day believing that you have the power to choose what you want to happen, rather than resort to containers of food, scales, and counting. The amazing thing about doing it in the way that I'm going to teach you is that you just know what to do. It's not confusing anymore. You don't have to look anymore because you're doing it from yourself. And the big truth is that in order to be healthy, we need a safe space to take action. That safe space is created inside of you with the thoughts that you have about yourself. That's where consistency comes from, feeling safe to be healthy for the long haul. Diets and fad diets do not create safety in the body. Your number one job is to say, my body is a safe place for me to be able to discover my health. That's it. My body is a safe space for me. A couple of years ago, I had a client who came in, and I'll always remember this because she came in and she looked at me and she said, "I need fat camp." I sort of chuckled. At this point we had sort of a funny relationship, and I'm like, okay, what is she coming in here for? And I listened to all the things that she had tried, how she had been so hard on herself and all the micromanaging she wanted to do in order to lose weight, and all of the things that she had tried before, going to these insane workout classes, tracking her foods, doing this diligent work. And I patiently waited for her to finish how everything had failed her. And what she wanted was another type of accountability. She wanted me to hold her hand through the same old stuff that she had been doing. I wasn't going to do that. And I'm not going to do that with you guys either. So I asked her, "Why do you think all of those things have failed?" And she said, "Well, I seem to give it my everything, and then I just don't want to do it anymore." How would it feel to start doing something that you want to do? Here's the difference: something that you have to do that you just don't want to do anymore, or something that you want to do because it matters to you, because you finally realize how these steps that you can take in your health actually improve your relationship with yourself, with the people around you, with your environment, in your work, in your life. Diets belong to the scale. Understanding yourself through health belongs to you. It belongs to you. You don't want to live another way. You just don't. That person decided that she was all in. And we came out of that session with a plan. It wasn't a meal plan or a diet plan or a list of foods to cut out. It was a plan to stop being hard on herself and approach eating with curiosity, and approach her mindset step by step, week by week, in a different way that she was used to. And I'm going to give you guys that mindset guide here in just a second in the comments. All anyone wants is a proven plan. I have the experience and I want to help you. And that's why I share all of these stories with you. That's why I share the latest things that I see that are going on with fad dieting. That's why I come in here and I debunk those things and I tell you the myths about what are going on. And I know you guys know this is true because it hasn't worked out for you. If it hasn't worked out to you up until this point, it's time to do something different. And it starts with the thoughts, then the nutrition, then the lifestyle. And in that order, must be in that order. And that's what we're going to do together. So for you to drop the limiting beliefs of fad dieting, you must first decide that you are capable of loving yourself to understand what's going on the inside. And the guide with the 12 affirmations and a place to journal about these affirmations is on its way to you. The conscious body, right? We talk about limiting beliefs are stuck in the subconscious. We don't always know that we have them. But the conscious body tells you that you are dissatisfied. On the outside, we're like, "Oh, I'm so dissatisfied. I don't like what I see." It says, here we are again. I have to go on another diet. I need to control myself. The diet that I've been doing isn't working. And I'm completely aware that I'm dissatisfied. It's the pictures and the calories, the containers, the weighing of food, the weighing of yourself. It's where logic comes in. And what we can do with affirmations is get underneath of that. Get underneath of that, where that control, where we're dealing with the food stuff, right? And we get underneath of it and we deal with the mind stuff. And when we deal with the mind stuff first, we naturally know what's good for us. And we only want to have that good thing. Okay. So instead of using a diet plan, we're going to try a mindset plan first. When I work with my clients, we work with a thought exercise, a nutritional principle, and a lifestyle thing within a 2-week period. So typically I roll a mindset shift, an eating shift, and a lifestyle shift out kind of all at once as a part of one thing. And we do this every couple of weeks so that we can get the hang of it. That way we're combining the triad of health, the thoughts, the foods, and the nutrition all together. This is just the mindset part, but I know it's going to have a huge impact for you. I'm going to go ahead and paste the guide here in the comments. It's straight to you don't have to sign up for anything. It's straight to you guys. Anybody who's in my free group, you get straight access to all of the resources that I'm going to give you. Just let me know if you download it, what it was like for you to read the affirmations, and if it was helpful for you, and if it's something different than what you've done before. And if you want more help with this, if you want to understand the unique belief patterns that are keeping you stuck, because these affirmations will walk you through the 12 most common that people have. And what I have to offer you as your personal coach is to understand what your unique beliefs are. We can absolutely hop on a phone and I can help you uncover what those beliefs are so that you can move forward. I do offer a free 45-minute call to anybody in this group. And it would be my pleasure to share with you that link here in the comments as well. So you can book that call and we can chat on the phone. I can get to know you a little bit and I can help guide you through the process to healing. If it feels like we're a good fit to work together, of course, I'll offer you more support, but it all starts with this 45-minute call so that you can understand where you are today and some of the things that may need to be required of you in order to move forward. All right. So today we went over some of the fad diets that are creating limiting beliefs, such as detoxes, weighing yourself, counting macros, and licking the spoon. We talked about the limiting beliefs that causes in our body and why that leads to inconsistency. We talked about some of the mindsets that not just keep us stuck, but some of the mindsets that we can adopt instead. And I shared my guide with you to walk yourself through the process of what it might be like to trust yourself instead of a diet plan. I hope you guys enjoy the free resource that's here available to you. If you do this on the replay, definitely hit up hashtag replay, and I'd love to know who's tuning in so that we can be here for each other through all of this and you can reach your health goals. I hope you have an amazing Thursday, and I'll see you guys in the next training next Thursday at noon.